Tom Mealy from MadHouseTV, and when I'm not at the studio, I'm here at the Harrison Law Group. This is my real job. And this January 2015, Brett and I are putting together a show called Legal Straight Talk. It'll be aired on Cablevision as well as here at MadHouseTV. You need to tune in. This information that we're going to be giving the public is the real deal. It's all about what you should do, what you shouldn't do. So tune in this January 2015 for a new episode of Legal Straight Talk.
Welcome to Legal Straight Talk. I'm Brett Harrison, and today, again, for part 3, we have Richard Left with regarding to real estate and buying your first home and closings. Welcome again, Rich.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, today I want to focus in on last show. We talked about when you finally have to hire your attorney, and we talked about possibly reviewing contracts. Here's a term that seems to always come up, but I think people don't really understand what it means. Contingency clauses in a contract for real estate. Why don't you explain how contingency clauses pop up, what it means, and what do we do with it?
Okay. One of the most important contingency clauses in any real estate contract is what's called a mortgage contingency clause. Most people who are going to purchase property are going to go get some kind of a loan from a lending institution. They're going to go try to acquire a mortgage and acquire a loan commitment. The most important provision in the contract itself is that mortgage contingency provision, because people could either jeopardize their contract deposit or they could be successful in getting their loan. So the attorney who's negotiating that mortgage contingency provision has to do a good job on that, because that could actually jeopardize a client's contract deposit.
So let's take a step back. So now, just for a little bit of to rehash some of the things from the past and bring it up to current. You found a house, the person found a house that they like, they put in an offer, initially it's accepted. They then are told, okay, tell us the name of who your attorney is and we'll send contracts. And that's where your real money is made. That separates the boys from the men, so to speak.
Exactly.
That know what they're doing in this. Contingency now then comes to when you say, okay, now that you got pre-approved, now you need a contingency to give you time to get an approved mortgage so that you can comply with whatever terms are in the contract.
So usually in New York, the typical time to obtain a mortgage, and this is put right in the contract in that contingency clause, known as the mortgage contingency clause, is 45 days in New York. And that time starts running from the time that they receive fully executed contracts. So the process goes like this. The seller's attorney prepares the contracts.
Always the seller's attorney?
Seller's attorney always prepares the contracts.
So if you're buying a house and the seller's attorney says, no, let your attorney do it, does that usually mean what? That they're not familiar with preparing these contracts?
I've actually never seen that happen. So the seller's attorneys usually are more than happy to prepare it. I've actually never have seen where they said, oh, it's okay, you could prepare the contracts.
Okay. So now continue, I'm sorry.
So once the seller's